Another thing I said is being alone makes your interests a priority. So if you ever had an experience where you get into a relationship and all of the things that you once enjoyed to do somehow go away, right? Like your hobbies, like if maybe you did some arts and crafts. And when you get into a relationship, you end up doing things together, and sometimes you lose yourself a little bit, right? So I think that can happen in relationships, that can happen in parenting, that can happen, you kind of, or it can happen in work if you're working a lot. You can say, okay, wait, I have to recenter myself and say, like, what am I interested in?
Yeah.
Sometimes I say go back to when you were a kid. Like if you're like, I don't have any hobbies and I have no idea what I'm interested in, go back to when you're a kid. Like what were the things that you gravitated towards?
Masturbation.
That's a hobby. That's a hobby.
What was it? No, I feel like dancing and like singing, but then like I have like a very, we talk about core memories of shame. I have a very shameful core memory of singing in front of other people and it being very embarrassing. And then I think I've stopped singing. And like you look like you're gonna cry for me, but like I don't feel that way now. But like I do think that like when I like reconnect and like something, as you know, like I've done some stuff with plant medicine and different things over the past year, and like singing has been a big part of that.
So the reason I looked like I was going to cry for you is because I think singing is such a vulnerable experience.
It really is.
And
I
to
was
have
mocked endlessly in 7th grade, which, as everyone knows, middle school is the trauma of life.
It is that.
Yes.
You've never said truer words. You were mocked?
Mocked. So I like, okay, here's the story. Do you want the whole story?
Please.
Okay, if you want to hear my core memory. This,
yes.
I don't know if this has to do with being alone, but I think it does have to do with like that we lose ourselves, right? And when we're always around people, we're thinking of other people's influence, right? So in 7th grade, at some point I asked my mom if I could do singing lessons, and I really wanted to sing the song from Milan that's like, you know what song I'm talking about, right?
Yes,
like, look at me. Yes. Right? I don't know the song.
Yes,
I do not know the lyrics. I've probably blacked them out. And so we were having this like end of the semester talent show in 7th grade music class. And I was like, I'm going to sing this. Everyone's going to think it was so good. It did not go well. It didn't. I couldn't get on the beat. I was anxious. I was nervous. Aww. And then I was like very embarrassed, but I kind of like shook it off. I didn't do that much. And then the next period, these group of boys come up to me and the one goes, so Emily, are you good at singing? Like, I heard that you were really good at singing. And like, I knew that they were like about to come and like call me out. So I was like, no, I'm very bad. And then the one guy was like pretty cool. And he was like, that's okay. I am too. And the other guy was like, well, then why would you sing in front of the class like that? Right. So I have like this very embarrassing core memory. And we started, you really look like you're going to cry.
I'm not going to cry, but I just think that had to be so painful.
It was so painful. But how many of us I want you now listening to think, do you have a very serious core memory that's embarrassment, that's shame, that was like really vulnerability gone wrong, and you then stopped doing that thing? Maybe it's dancing in public, maybe it's singing, maybe it's calling a friend and asking for help, right? Like there's like all these things that like you have this experience and then you're like, I can't do that. I have to protect myself. I can't go there again.
Like it no longer becomes something you're interested in because there's
trauma.
Fear around it, right? Like I'm going to be mocked for this, so I can't. But you can enjoy doing something
and suck at it
and not be good at it.
Right. But I didn't know that. At 7th grade, you think the only point of doing stuff is that like, I'm just going to stick to what I'm good at, what I'm naturally good at. Right. Which is like,
because it's protective.
Yes, exactly. Right. But it's also, there's so much bravery in trying stuff you suck at and just doing it because you like it.
Well, that's what I was also thinking is it was so brave of you to sing in front of the class.
I know.
I'm so impressed with you.
I thought that I was going to like bring down the house though.